Ladies and gentlemen, you all have been asking for it, and you can best believe we're delivering here right directly, exclusively with Armstrong Cable. This is the Ryse Report. Before we even start, I want you to be reminded that you can come right here for the next event that's happening on February the 2nd, right here at Rise of the Stronghold Arena, 1952 University Drive, right here in Collinsville, behind the old mall. Make sure also you're following us on all social media, Ryse Wrestling, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, we have it. And I don't know about you, DK. You know what I got? I got energy. I got energy with Mountain Dew. I'm doing the Dew, baby.
So are we ready to roll right into this here?
Oh, we're ready to go.
Rev Ron Hunt, Master of the Multiverse, DK Abel, and we are here to go over Ryse Wrestling on the Ryse Report and start things off. Let's talk about Shirley Doe versus the Bearcat Keith Hott from January 5th, a month ago. One thing I know is that Shirley Doe and the Grindhouse are becoming a dominant force to be reckoned with here at Ryse Wrestling. Doe has got lots of experience, and he has brought together this group of misfits. And
I think that's a light way to put it, a group of misfits. But I think even looking back at it, I mean, first of all, let's just start with, I guess, the unofficial head of the Grindhouse, which I would probably say Shirley Doe with the amount of experience that he has. But I mean,
you would think that they would look to him for their guidance, but you don't know what these.
I mean, in all due respect, I think this would not be disrespectful to an entity like Shirley Doe, but I mean, he's a complete nut house. But that gets the job done.
He would wear that badge with honor. Yeah.
I think he would. I think he would tell me thank you and then headbutt me after. But I mean, Shirley Doe is the type that whatever the mindset is, and somehow there are a group of beings around them. I mean, we have Megan Myers. I think we have Beastman that was connected with them at some point in time. We had Christian Noir.
Yes, those are the four members that have been wreaking havoc here at Ryse Wrestling, and I think they're going to continue to do so for quite a while.
And then I think looking at it now, I mean, this was a whole night's worth of events. I mean, we had surprises, some that we will get to later from some shocking announcements. But one of the main things that stuck to me, we had a big major announcement by our head of talent relations, Marcus Mann, to announce something that was announced for the very first time. Not only do we have our Ryse Grand Championship, but now we are announcing that more gold is coming to the Stronghold Arena. And I'm excited about this. These are Tag Team Gold titles.
That's right. People have been waiting for this for a long time. We're going to crown the first set of Tag Team Champions at Ryse Wrestling this year. The tournament is beginning February 2nd, and I had an interview with one of the competitors in this tournament, so let's go to the video. I'm being joined at this time by Casual Lewis the Nerd. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm feeling casual today.
Feeling casual.
Usually on the weekdays, I'll take off the dress pants, put on some jeans.
Sounds good to me. Now, we brought you on here to talk a little bit about, well, first, what happened at the past show at Ryse between you and Drake Braddock. So you came away with a victory, but then you decided that you wanted to team up.
Yes, I knew that this tag team tournament was being announced. Marcus Mann came out. He made the announcement. We did our match, and it was fantastic. We went back and forth, and so I knew I wanted to enter this tournament. So I said, who is a tag team partner that I can have? And as soon as that match ended, I knew Drake Braddock was going to be the guy. So right afterwards, I told him he was a worthy opponent. I said it like that. And he came up right on the fly. We will become military intelligence. I'm kind of scared he's going to put me through boot camp, but I think I can do it.
All right, well, you already addressed the name, military intelligence.
Yes.
That's the name that your team's going with.
Yes, it was either military intelligence or yes, nerd. But we put it on Twitter, we put it on Instagram, Facebook, not MySpace. MySpace is gone. But we put it out on all the social media platforms, and the fans, they have gone with military intelligence.
The tag team tournament is going to kick off February 2nd, and the team of military intelligence will be taking on Golden Sheik. Do you have any particular strategy to take on these opponents?
Drake has the military technique. He's used to crawling through the trenches and figuring out what is going to happen next. And when you add me into that, knowing my background in science, mathematics, and all of that, we have a great team. And that's where we will bring in the military aspect along with the intelligence aspect. And we will use our military intelligence to take them down.
I feel you. Now, I have to ask here, because I know that for several months throughout 2018, you were being pursued as a potential tag team partner for one Darth Con Abel as a part of the Abel Media pre-show every month at Ryse Wrestling. Now, why did you decide to reject that individual and then all of a sudden need a partner and find one in Drake Braddock? What did Drake have that Con didn't have? What is it about that situation? How can you explain that?
Well, Drake and I are friends, and Con tried to kill me. So I had to have that last match with him to make sure he doesn't kill me.
Fair enough. He has since been banished from this universe, thanks to you. Do you have any final words to share with the audience at home?
Just be sure to come February 2nd, Groundhog's Day. We'll find out if there's 6 more weeks of winter or spring is going to come early. But come out February 2nd. Come watch the newly formed military intelligence take on Golden Sheik and watch us, hopefully, I think we're going to, move on to the next round of the Tag Team Tournament.
All right, thank you, Lewis the Nerd, for joining us here. Back to the Ryse Report here. We are going to address the next match in the show from January 5th. It was Honey Badger versus Calvin Couture. Honey Badger picked up the big win with a stunner. Both of these competitors will be a part of the tag team tournament, which we've already begun talking about. Honey Badger, representing the team of Honey Bear along with Keith Hott. They will be taking on half of the Grindhouse in Shirley Doe and Beastman.
That's a challenging one when we look at that. I mean, I would say that Honey Bear, they have a lot of momentum behind them. A lot of people consider them an underdog, but that's what makes them a threat. You don't know what to expect from them. But at the same time, I think the thing that kind of weighs on the Rev is I know what to expect from the Grindhouse. I mean, they're a complete threat within all of pro wrestling. It's different. When you're training this business, and DK, you know this as well, being an active wrestler, you naturally know, okay, if I see this, here's how I can counter. Here's how I can get to this. Here's how I can get leverage. When you're dealing with people that don't really think on the normal side of things and do some of the most unusual and ordinary things, that's what is dangerous. So I might have to kind of lead with the Grindhouse on that.
You're going to the Grindhouse.
I might go for the Grindhouse on that.
Well, we definitely have two unorthodox pairs in that contest. In different ways, though. Doe and Beastman, powerhouses, monsters to be reckoned with, and Honey Bear, as you said, they are a little bit undersized. On paper, a little bit outmatched, but it should be a good one. I'd have to give the nod as well to Grindhouse.
You don't really agree with me that, I'm very shocked right now. Is the Rev preaching something
you're not right very often, but on the occasion that
is
you are,
is
then
the
I gotta
Rev
go
preaching
along
to
with
the multi-universe, or am I preaching to the multi-universe? That's all I'm asking. I don't know if this is Mountain Dew kicking, but I'm feeling it right now.
You're feeling something.
I'm feeling it.
Let's keep going on with the tag team tournament. Another match that has been confirmed is the other half of the Grindhouse, Grindhouse Noir, as they have been dubbed. Christian Noir and Meg Myers will be taking on System Elite, a.k.a. Flanimal House, and who do you have in that match?
I really, I was one way for the other, but I think that's because we were dealing with people like the Beastman, we were dealing with people like Shirley Doe. I know very well exactly what Christian Noir is capable of. I don't know too much about Megan Myers besides she is creepy, and anytime I hear that laugh, I get chills down my back. But I do know that more on an adhesive side as a tag team, I really might have to go with System Elite. I mean, we're talking about years of them having a connective power. They know how each other look. It's amazing where you could just look across the ring at someone and you already know what you guys want to do as a unit. And I think they have a little bit of that leverage based on them going against Christian Noir and Meg Myers. So I might really have to go with System Elite on that one. How about yourself?
Well, the advantage that you claim System Elite has, I think, might be a disadvantage. They look across at each other, know what they're going to do next, but I think that Noir is going to know what they're going to do. I think Noir is thinking beyond what System Elite is thinking, and they also have the rest of Grindhouse to back them up. We've seen how the numbers games affects things in Ryse, and when it's 4 members of a stable looking out for each other, especially people who can do the things that these people can do, I got to give it to Grindhouse 2.0. Grindhouse Noir.
I think you probably drank a little bit of that. I don't even know, what is it? Bayou juice, goop.
I'm not drinking anything Christian Noir is selling.
Okay, but here's one thing that was unique when we're dealing with head of talent relations Marcus Mann making this announcement. Here's one I really wanted to get to. I really wanted to stay on this one. We have the main event: Gannon Jones Jr. and Duke Davis versus #privilege, and that consists of the Gavel, David Lawless, and we have Dr. Dan looking to make a change, spread some positivity. I'm all about Dr. Dan, but I'm torn in between this one, man.
You're torn?
Not.
You're telling me you're torn. You don't know what the Rev doesn't know what he's going to say for once. I'll make it clear for you.
Rub it in.
The main event is going to win that.
And
Because they're the main event. That's what they do. They own this place. They walk into the arena. They think that they're the biggest thing in the world.
I thought Brandon Kay owned this place.
Not according to the main event. You come here on the night of the show. Look around. Everybody's hyping up the main event. Everybody's buying everything the main event is selling. I don't love the guys, but they're gonna win. They're the whole show here half the time. Are you gonna disagree?
I hear what you're saying, but you guys have to see my perspective in this. I mean, we're dealing with the main event. Yes, they have traveled. They have reached a couple places and will be reaching some more places, hopefully within this year of 2019. But at the same time, we look at a guy like David Lawless. I mean, we're both not a stranger to him, knowing the background as what he has came from, the athleticism that's behind him, as well as Gannon Jones Jr. and Duke Davis. We're looking at 4 big guys all across the spectrum. Dr. Dan is not a small cruiserweight by any means. I think they all have enough athletic ability to be able to. Right now, I'm still down the line.
Lawless and Dr. Dan, I wouldn't want to shortchange them, but in a tag team situation against the main event is a cohesive team. They've been teaming together for years now. Lawless and Dan, both of them, what they have is that they play dirty, but the main event's dirty too.
Let me ask you.
They're just gonna try to out-cheat each other, and the main event's just gonna get bored.
So can I ask you one question?
Sure.
Okay. Head of Talent Relations, Marcus Mann. He announced their tag team. Maybe what if it was a 6-man tag? Hear me out. The main event, it is not only Gannon Jones Jr. and Duke Davis. They have another member to them, and his name is Liddy the Lion. I mean, they have a lion. How many tag teams have a lion? Now I'm still on the fence.
Are you trying to make my point for me?
No,
they've got the numbers, they've got the energy, they've got the experience, and they're all equally.
I'm just saying. Here's what you have to agree with me, and this is probably the only one that I cannot really give a straight down the middle with. We have Dr. Dan, we have Lawless, which you said will cheat by any means to get the job done, which I believe if the ref doesn't see it, it's not cheating. It's as simple as that. But at the same time, if they were to try to use that, maybe they have an extra set of eyes on them, rather in the back or at ringside, and his name is Liddy the Lion. Now, could they also use that to their numbers advantage? That's why I'm still down the middle. This match can go either way it wants to go, and quite frankly, the Rev doesn't know. I'm all for it. I'm going to be on the edge of my seat, but I still don't know who has that match.
You saw it here, ladies and gentlemen. The Rev doesn't know what he's talking about.
You know what?
All right. The final match of the opening round of this tournament is going to be Team Military Intelligence, who we saw Lewis the Nerd earlier, along with Drake Braddock, and they will be teaming up against Golden Sheik. How do you see that one going?
I see it going the Golden Sheik way. I'm sorry. I mean, the Rev is the one that I like the flash. I like the bling. You got to be fresh to death while you're blessed by the best. And quite frankly, that's the Golden Sheik. I mean, no one comes out with more grace, more style in the face, the voice that gets you moist like the Golden Sheik. So therefore, Golden Sheik, they're going all the way. Now
They're going all the way? Is that, are they your pick for the whole tournament?
They might go to the finals. They might go there, but only because there's a collective cohesiveness with them. And then, quite frankly, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit biased because, I mean, they dress the part. They look like money. They smell like money. I think they are money, and they might be going the limit.
I don't think I've been close enough to know what they smell like exactly.
Roses.
But I will.
Like
you
Outcasts.
just said money, like roses. Okay, I will agree with you that Golden Sheik is going to win, and the reason is I don't think Lewis is that intelligent. I don't know why he picked to team with Drake Braddock. I think that he could have found somebody better. And with that, we can end our analysis of the first round of the tag team tournament.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for continuing to tune with us. We want to jump right into the next one, and I believe personally that this was history for well over 19 years, close to 2 decades, with perhaps we could say 2 of Pittsburgh's finest, and we can even venture to say even more, 2 of Pittsburgh's legends. It almost got a little dicey at the beginning. I mean, we had a little bit of an interference by Shirley Doe from the Grindhouse, but yet a strange phenomenon happened, which I was actually quite shocked about it. Derek Direction came down to the ring, and what you would think would have repeated what happened last month on January 5th, and with the Grindhouse pretty much disturbing them. So we thought we were going to see the same one this next time around. However, Derek Direction made the stop, and we were actually able to see a little bit of masterpiece in its finest for a good amount of time. But where do you see it right now with these two? I mean, this is a lot of history that came across in Square Circle.
Well, Brandon Kay is kicking off his 2019 retirement tour. That's what I've heard. That's what a little birdie told me.
Oh no.
He's on his final year in pro wrestling, and I believe he wanted to take on Super Hentai because of all the history they have, because he knows that he can put on a great match, and because he is the owner of Ryse Wrestling, he wants to give the fans their money worth. Unfortunately, they were not able to do that in December because of Shirley Doe's interference. But Derek Direction, I never thought I would say this, saved the day. And
you never can say that ever again.
Prevented Shirley Doe from interfering again, which allowed Brandon Kay and Super Hentai to take each other to the limit. And Brandon Kay picked up the win here at the house that he built. It was a great match, great showing.
I think one of the things when you were talking about that, I think, it's definitely one that the fans wanted. They did not receive it. It got broken up the first time, and then now finally, it was able to happen. As much as we would hate to admit it, I mean, we have to kind of give Derek Direction a little bit of credit. The same thing could have repeated itself, but for some reason he stopped it. And even after the match, I think when fans were leaving the Stronghold Arena, a lot of questions were asked at the end of that match from fans. What was the reason of him doing it? And not simply because of those actions, but because of the actions that were in the next following match. And you want to stay with us because we're going to talk about that right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in with us yet once again right here at the Ryse Report. You can only find us here at Armstrong Cable. Right now, we're at the Rise of the Stronghold Arena, and we want to jump right into something that was, I guess, very disturbing. I mean, it's been making national news. It's been making all of the web, and I mean, even getting, just attention from superstars like Vimpero. I mean, getting all over the place. It's been getting. The Young Bucks have also responded, and that was the incident that happened at another company within the Pittsburgh area of the notorious, almost fatal incident with Sean Phoenix. And I understand that, we do have our team setting up some things for him in the next coming Ryse Reporter show. And it goes to explain how dangerous it is to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah, that's why they say don't try this at home. We know every time we step into the ring that it is dangerous, that it can be your last match. Sean Phoenix had an unfortunate situation He addressed the audience here at Ryse Wrestling on January 5th, and he will be here for an exclusive interview with Ryse Report next month, so make sure that you tune in. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Ryse Report Showcase match.
A little ruffled over that big victory by Drake Braddock, but tonight, here at Ryse, he's going to take on who I like to call the Ricky Morton of Ryse Wrestling, Lewis.
And of course, Ricky Morton, I'm sure everyone knows his lengthy list of accomplishments, but he was known as having the biggest heart in professional wrestling during his prime. And you may say that Lewis has the biggest heart in Ryse, because we've seen Lewis, we've seen him take his lumps. He's had an up and down year in 2018. We know that Lewis wants to take the positive momentum of 2018, bring it up to this year as we start off here, January 5th of 2019 at the Stronghold. My name is Jim Amata. He is the legendary Pittsburgh athlete, Mr. Paul Atlas.
That's right. Lewis had some major losses this year to both Magnum CK and Christian Noir, but I'm sure Lewis has tried to put all that behind him, making his re-debut, if you will, back here at Ryse Wrestling in 2019. Lewis is hoping to, no pun intended, rise to the occasion.
And real quick, I want to say Magnum CK, due to a back injury, has had to retire from in-ring competition, but we certainly appreciate everything that Magnum brought to the table. So certainly good luck to Magnum CK as he continues his outside of the ring career. And I believe Lewis is trying to assimilate with some of the vernacular of the bullet catcher.
Seems that way.
I believe this matchup here really personifies the foundation. Wait, shoulders down here. Really
Almost a quick one.
Personifies the foundation of Ryse, as we're having two young athletes go at it in ring competition to find out just who is the best on any given night. And we know this is a very evenly matched contest between experience and skill level, as you can see right here.
Yeah, and a little bit of sportsmanship on top of it. Something you don't often see here.
I know you weren't exactly, you didn't make sportsmanship one of your main traits during your in-ring career.
No, I'd rather punch him in the mouth and shake his hand, but, you know, hey, it's all about making money.
Side headlock here from Drake Braddock. Lewis shoots him off. Braddock gets the advantage here. We could say Drake Braddock has the strength advantage coming into this one. Up and over. And look at the way that Lewis just suckered the bullet catcher in. Series of arm drags. And man, does Lewis get rolling.
That was an excellent series of moves by Lewis. I think he spent some time training, not just all the time in the books. He does exhibit some athletic prowess here and there.
Absolutely, he is deceptively agile. Nice series of kicks from the martial arts expert.
With that military training, those kicks are lethal.
Bullet catcher hooks the inside leg.
But there you see, once again, like I said, the Ricky Morton of Ryse Wrestling. Lewis digs down deep and kick out of that pinfall.
That's one thing we can say. 2018 was a mixed bag for Lewis when it comes to his win-loss record. But he never lost that enthusiasm. He never lost his desire to compete. And he always gives everything in his body when he's inside the squared circle with a stronghold.
There's no two ways about that, Jim. This young man has a heart as big as all outdoors. He will fight tooth and nail, and despite the setbacks, he is still here competing in 2019, looking to turn back that clock, turn around that whole thing that went on last year, and get back to the top at Ryse. This man was a major contender for the Ryse Grand Championship at one point last year, and I know Lewis wants to get there again.
He may be checking for his teeth because he took 2 feet right in the face. Look at the bullet catcher looking to twist Lewis into a pretzel here.
Form of an Indian deathlock.
Almost an inverted Indian deathlock. Or an inverted figure 4 as well, depending on which way Drake Braddock wants to turn this thing. But however Drake Braddock chooses to torque the legs, it's going to increase the pain on the face of Lewis here. If you can see the fight as he is inching his way towards the ropes. Finding a surcease with that bottom rope, but you know that the bullet catcher, always aggressive, will look to continue to press the advantage here.
That's right, and you know, the longer Lewis stayed in that hold, the more damage was done to that knee.
Shoulders down here.
Another close 2 count there, Jim.
And notice, even in that scenario, Drake Braddock is forcing Lewis to use the energy to extricate himself, to get his shoulders off the canvas.
Wear the opponent down, make him carry your weight. That's what he's doing here once again with this rear chin lock. Notice how he's leaning his body weight against Lewis's back and neck, making him carrying it, trying to cut the wind down on him.
And Lewis back to a vertical base here. Gonna try to fight out. Shoots Drake Braddock in. Swing and a miss from Drake. Lewis continues to avoid the contact. Man, big mid-ring collision.
Both men with the same idea.
All the air driven out of both athletes. And we're at a pivotal point here. The first man to their feet will have definitive advantage in the conclusion of this contest.
This may end up a double count out at this rate. Both those men collided with sheer violence.
That's an easy way to crack a rib, I'll tell you that. And you want to talk about fight, you want to talk about heart, these two are going to slug it out. Who wants it more here in 2019?
Lewis hulking up a little bit there, if I may coin a phrase.
Beautiful back elbow off the ropes.
That big back elbow, here you go, hooks the leg.
That was a perfect pinfall attempt from Lewis.
And let's not forget, we talk about Lewis's heart, but Drake Braddock, a military man, a soldier, a fighter, he's not going to give up under any circumstances either. This man is taught to train and fight for his life and die if necessary, so he's going to be a hard man to beat. Sharpshooter.
And you can see the pain etched on the face of Lewis.
And this is where Drake Braddock has matured a little bit. Notice he keeps going back to that lower body. And where in the past he would change his direction on
5 minutes gone by, 5 minutes.
On how he approached the match. But now he's working on the lower body of Lewis.
Standing switch here. Drake moves in, roll through, Pat O'Connor roll. Drake better be careful he's not too over-aggressive. Crucifix pin, shoulders down now.
Both men are trading falls here now.
The pace quickens. Lewis avoids the contact. Schoolboy. Shoulders down, he got him.
Just like
And
that.
your winner, 6 minutes and 54 seconds, the Nerd, Lewis!
A tremendous back and forth contest. We may be seeing the start of a very fruitful year for Lewis here in the Stronghold.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, the main event from January 5th saw another fantastic match between Lee Moriarty and Matt Connard. Another classic. These two have gone toe-to-toe a number of times. This match, we thought, was a 30-minute time limit draw, but Marcus Mann came back out, restarted the match, and well, we got another surprise at the end of this.
Well, I think when looking at it, first of all, I think let's just talk about now. I don't know if you saw me getting my Ric Flair on, because
I saw
when it came
already.
down to the feature presentation, it went down. Lee Moriarty, boom! Matt Connard, Kevin, hustle and bustle and tussle all the way down until that time limit. And I think, it's about the history that's behind them. I think this is Ryse Wrestling's fight forever match. They know each other's limits. They know what to push each other. And quite frankly, I think even Lee Moriarty was on social media and said, for the first time ever, I felt like I can go even longer. So I still don't think we've seen the end of them. But I mean, like you stated, head of talent relations, Marcus Mann, when that time limit is there, it's there. It's a draw. But he came back out. The fans wanted more. Marcus Mann decided to give them more. But the ending that we tried to talk about prior with, I guess, Derek Direction wanting to save a so-called match, I guess.
We gave Derek Direction too much credit earlier for allowing a match to continue, because then what he did in the main event was he came out and he blasted Matt Connard from behind with a VHS tape Now, are you calmed down? Are you going to try to reenact that ambush, or are you good to just talk?
No. I mean, it came over like this, and it went like this, and then took the tape and went the boom, boom. And then, sorry. I'm Mountain Dew, bro. Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I know, man. A half a can of Mountain Dew, and you're
Sorry.
you're going nuts. But yeah, Derek Direction, much like my friend the Rev here, just going crazy, thinking he can do whatever he wants, thinking he can destroy other people's property, thinking he can mess with the show.
I think
that's what he did.
I think we're looking at it in culture, but I think when looking at it, Derek Direction has every good reason of a reason why he would think that he can, destroy the show. I mean, Derek Direction also has a history with Lee Moriarty, not as extensive as Matt Connard, but I mean, this even goes back to when Lee was the very first Ryse Grand Champion, and then Derek Direction stealing the title. I think there's a little bit that he wants, but now the focus is to another hand. So I don't think we're going to see the end of him.
So as far back as we can recall, Derek Direction has been just trying to take over things that didn't belong to him.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. He's been given opportunities. He's had title matches. Unfortunately, the title is in the hands of Matt Connard. Lee Moriarty had the match. Derek Direction just butting in where he doesn't belong. And I don't know what Marcus Mann is going to do about it. I don't know what the situation is going to be going forward between these two or these three individuals in the title scene. If Lee and Connard are going to face off again, if Direction's going to be involved. One thing that I really want to know is why Connard feels the need to destroy a match he's not in, or why he he saved. Who did I say?
Connard.
Now
Connard is going to destroy something else because he might destroy Derek after this.
You got me all worked up, throwing my binder all over.
Well,
the place.
I just think
why
I think it's a collar and elbow shirt and I did
earlier.
chest day.
You think you're the only one who can do that?
Oh.
All right. Direction felt the need to destroy a match earlier in the show.
Yes.
No. Save a match earlier.
Save and then destroy.
Because you're just crazy.
I know. I'm sexy, baby.
He saved a match earlier in the show to get on everybody's good side. Then he messed up a match later in the show, and I don't know which way.
I think the one thing to say and to kind of wrap this up, this is definitely not the end. And to end an event here at Ryse of the Stronghold with an angry Ryse Grand Champion like the Reaper Matt Connard is definitely going to make for an interesting show. And speaking of interesting show, you all want to make sure that you are here at the Stronghold Arena, 1952 University Drive, right behind the Old Mall, right here in Connellsville. You can get your tickets at RyseWrestling.com. Also, connect with us on social media, Ryse Wrestling, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, they have. Or even on Snapchat, behind the scenes, before matches, after match interviews. But, this is just the beginning. But here's one good thing. We're going to be here each and every time exclusively on Armstrong Cable. Every single month. That's amazing. They can't get enough of Ryse Report. We can't get enough of our viewers. So make sure you're staying tuned. Until then, I'm the Rev Ron Hunt.
DK Abel. Good night.